I want to show you these live pictures of voting lines in New York City. The pace is picking up. Well, as you can see, the lines are getting longer. People are going directly to the voting booths before they go to work today. And, of course, the biggest concern surrounding this election recently has been about voter fraud. The Justice Department is sending more than 500 employees to 28 states to enforce federal voting laws and ensure that nobody interferes with the democratic process. Joining us now to talk about that is Violis Group International CEO Paul Violis. Paul, good to see you. Thank you so much for joining us. Nightline Security CEO Vinny Troya is with us as well. Gentlemen, this is an important conversation. Is there a chance, Paul, that hackers could undermine this election?
There's no question about it, Maria. I mean, it's a plain fact. It's something that we've been looking at for a long time now. And, you know, the Justice Department coming up with Johnson sending 500 people out, you know, to me, I don't see the purpose in that. I really don't. I think it's smoke and mirrors.
Vinny, what about you? What do you think? Tell us how to combat such a thing.
Well, I mean, I would have to agree with Paul. I mean, I think there is, I'm not really sure what the purpose of sending those people out is, but in order to combat something like this, I mean, there's really little information currently about how the final votes are being tallied after the electronic systems close, how those actual votes are getting to the central voting system, because the machines aren't connected to the internet. So I would see that as kind of your main fault area, where there's going to be a point where, you know, somebody, the way it's happened in previous elections, has taken a memory chip and literally carried it over to a central, you know, voting hub or server, and at that point, that's probably where the main or the biggest chance for infection would be.
What states are most vulnerable? Every state has its own system in place. Which one should we be looking out for the biggest problems?
Well, I think part of the problem is there's so many different types of voting machines that you know, it's hard to say exactly you know which machines are the most vulnerable. I mean, we've seen vulnerabilities, you know, as far as 4 or 8 years ago now in the different voting machines, and so it's really kind of scattered and diverse at this point.
Paul, what about you?
Right.
Final word from you.
No, listen, Maria, the bottom line is that we have a decentralized voting system, so it's up to the states. They're independently run. We have to look at this realistically, and the bottom line is that with the highest probability of risk are hackers trying to manipulate the metadata that would cause confusion from voters not wanting to vote. Key point is everybody needs to just get out and vote. That's a key point.
Yeah, it sure is. All right, gentlemen, thank you so much. Paul Violis, Vinny Troya, we will be watching this. Thanks very much for your insights, guys.